Just a confirmation from just any one of you, if you can all see my screen and if I'm
Yes,
audible enough.
it's very clear.
All right.
Yeah.
Audible.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So as I had earlier mentioned, that today we are having the second session of the soft skills, because these ones normally take place at the end, the last week of every month. We had the first one. Now we are having the second one. Then of course we'll have others down the line as we proceed. So, and again, as you know, just to repeat, that this is really a clear indication that we are already done with 2 months. Or starting next weekend, we'll be starting modules in our month 3 of the program. Yeah. And our session today is on collaborative teamwork and project management in analytics projects. So anytime you're working on your project, the data analytics project, what are the best techniques for you to collaborate well within your teams, and even the project management? Because remember, in every field, you find yourself managing projects, whether you've done some professional course on project management or not, but many are the times that you are required to use project management skills in all your projects, whether in academia or in the industry. Right. So today, what we are going to cover is we'll have the introductory session of collaborative teamwork and project management. We'll get to understand more on collaborative teamwork. Again, discuss more on building effective analytical teams, communication and active listening. Anytime someone is talking to you and they are just merely listening, are you required to employ more skills more than just technically listening? Or is it more than that for you to be actively listening? Conflict resolution, we are human beings. Sometimes we might offend each other, but again, we have to know how to solve our conflicts. Yeah. And then we'll talk about project management in analytics, time and resource management, decision making and problem solving. We talk a little bit about risk management in analytics projects, leadership and empowerment, and lastly, we'll have some few points on emotional intelligence. Okay, so before we get started, I would like all of us to watch a very short video. Please pay attention, listen actively, yeah, be present, and then once the video is done, you can let us know in the chat what resonates with you the most. Okay, so I'm going to play it, and I'm hoping that everyone will be able to hear.
Creating successful project collaborations.
Successful project collaborations are like any collaborations, which is, what is the motivation for the people showing up to the table in the first place? Are they there to get something from you? Are they there to share what they know so that you can advance together? Are they there to profit for themselves, or are they there to help whoever you're working with or for benefit, whether it's an end customer or a client? Do they have the sense that they know everything, or do they have the sense that they have lots to learn? Successful project collaborations, like any collaboration, are when there's shared values and the desire to stand shoulder to shoulder and not as adversaries. It's not about how much business we can steal from each other. This is one of the reasons so many organizations don't like working with ad agencies, because ad agencies don't play nice. Every time they work with a design firm, they're trying to plot and scheme how they can take the business away from the design firm and put it in their own design group, And so other people stay away from them. These are not successful collaborations. As opposed to saying, whether we have a design group or not, we have deep respect for you. We'll share everything we know to help you be better and be successful. And amazingly, that partner, that collaborator will do the same for them. It's not brain surgery. It's really not. And the amazing thing is there may be short-term gains in trying to steal or get from another, but over the long term, what starts to happen is nobody wants to work for you. There's a funny tale. One of the richest men in China, he's a real estate mogul, billionaire, and he always gives away the majority share whenever he does a partnership, 51% or more. And somebody said, "Why do you keep giving away the majority share in all your partnerships?" And he says, "That way everybody wants to work with me." You know, again, when you concern yourself with the success of others, they want to work with you.
For as we proceed, you know, with our program, I hope that we are going to be more collaborative in our assignments and in our groups. Yeah. People have motives behind collaboration, as we must identify our motives behind collaboration. Someone to learn more, someone to help others, some also want to steal ideas. Yeah, people are, you know, you are very different. Okay. I hope you can see my screen again, right?
Yes, your screen is looking at us.
Yes.
Okay, so I would like this session to be as collaborative as possible, and therefore kindly, whether in your laptop or in your phone, log in into Slido, www.slido.com, because I want you to share one word that comes to your mind when you think about collaborative teamwork, and especially when you kind of flash back, when you try to reflect back since month 1, month 2, what comes into your mind when we talk about collaborative teamwork? Log in into slido.com. The code is capital SS and then July. This is soft skills in July. And I think our first interactive session question, kindly share one word that comes to your mind when you think about collaborative teamwork. And please reflect back on the way you've been collaborating within your groups, working on your assignments. Selfless, yeah. Communication, success, yes. Ideas, cooperation, yes. Compromise, yes. Communication again. Yeah, concrete decision making. Yes, you have to make decisions as a team. Yeah, and don't be a dictator. Everyone has something to share, and we can lend them our listening ear. We can hear their ideas and discuss together. Listening. Kindly, guys, please share. Please share. Please share. Communication is actually standing out. Wow, working together or sharing ideas, patience. Yes, you have to be patient with your colleagues. Yeah, teamwork or sacrifice. What else? Success. Actually, communication, sharing, and success are winning. Mwanza. Don't share your name. Respect, synergy. Yeah. Finishing project on time. Yes, you have to meet deadlines. You have to meet deadlines, whether it's assignments or even work, even at work, when you go to the industry, or even in the academia, you can't just be given a project and then there is no submission date or any due date. You will have some timelines to meet, and therefore on time management, you have to have some good skills on how to manage your time well and meet deadlines. Yeah. Okay. Only 20 emotional intelligence. Yes. 23, we are 35. Kindly, everyone needs to participate. Now, please don't log out from Slido because we'll have another questions as we proceed. So let's continue with our questions. Yes, but you can still keep them coming. Let's proceed. So yeah, so we've seen collaboration, teamwork, success. All of you have to work together to realize your intended goal. And all right. So on the intro, analytics projects, and as we know, normally involve complex data analysis and technical skills. But these projects, to be successful, they will heavily rely on effective collaboration and project management. Kindly mute yourselves, please. Don't give me a hard time. Is Eunice around? No. And Prince? I think Samuel is around. Samuel. Samuel,
Yes,
please.
I'm around.
Yes, so please help in muting those guys who want to disturb us. Yeah. So you are in this field, you expect to have data analytics projects, and therefore, as much as your technical skills are important, you will also need the soft skills. You will need to have effective collaboration and project management skills. And I think this one, you've seen it right now when, through this program, all of you are grouped into some small groups every time you are given assignment, and therefore you are not expected to work in silos. You have to work together as a team, communicate everything together. While technical expertise is essential, soft skills such as communication, teamwork, and leadership are equally crucial for driving project success. Yeah, you will have the technical expertise, even in the industry, but if you lack the soft skills, it will be so easy for you to get fired. You have to know how to communicate with your boss, because the way you communicate with your boss is so different from the way you communicate with your peers. Yeah. Right now, the way you communicate with your fellow mentees should be different from how you communicate with your mentors. Teamwork within, and we can't overemphasize on this one, because whether you are in this program or outside, you will find yourself working in groups. You'll find yourselves working as a team. And your contribution will be so crucial for you as a team to realize, your objectives. When it comes to leadership, whether you've been appointed somewhere or not, but even within your normal capacity, you are a leader. Because every time you wake up in the morning, you tell yourself what to do. Nobody is there to direct you, wake up, do this, do this. You organize yourself. If there are things that you need to, probably you have someone who could help you, but you have a lot of work, you know how to delegate even the tasks. Yeah. So these are some of the skills which will be so crucial anytime you are working on your own work or even working as a team. Is this a quick? Oh, my screen is blurry. Okay. Is that the case for everyone?
No.
Yes, now it is blurring, but
It's
before it
fine
was
now.
Sorry?
now it is blurring.
Now it's blurry
Yeah,
Yes.
it's now good.
for everyone.
It's back
Now
now.
we don't see anything. Yeah, now it's blurring.
Let me
Oh.
try to change the Wi-Fi and see whether it will be
It's
better.
okay now, I think. Isn't it okay now?
How about now? How about now? Or it's worse? How is it now? Guys, please
The
someone
screen is fine.
confirm.
We can. Yeah, okay.
It's
We
I
okay.
can-
think it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine, I think.
Okay.
No, it's fine. It's okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
Okay.
that's fine.
Sorry, I changed my Wi-Fi, but I think the one I had changed to, it's not that good. So let me just retain what I was having, what I was using. Please confirm whether you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yes,
Yes.
it's better now.
All right. So on collaborative teamwork, what does this mean? Collaborative teamwork refers to the collective efforts of a group of individuals who work together towards a common goal. Yeah, I think this one is easy to understand, but probably when you put it into practice, might not be that easy. But please always be reminded that anytime, you have any kind of work to do, you and probably you are supposed to work with your colleagues, within that team, all of you, your collective efforts will be needed. And then when you sum all those collective efforts, all of them, you will, be working towards achieving your common goal. And what will this really involve? It will involve all of you pulling your diverse skills, your perspectives. Everyone always has something to contribute. And never be afraid of, sharing your ideas. And knowledge to analyze data. Now this one is more specific to, our program and the area of data analytics. Draw insights and make informed decisions. So your collaborative teamwork, all of you will combine your collective efforts. And this one will involve bringing together your diverse skills, your perspectives, your knowledge to analyze data, whether you are an expert or a beginner. Anything that you know will be useful for the team. All of you draw insights after analyzing data as a team and make informed decisions from those insights as a team. Yeah. Okay. So when you observe all this, what will be the benefits of this effective collaboration when you are doing your projects? When you work as a team, you are pulling all your efforts together, everyone is contributing, you analyze the data together, you draw insights together, and even the decisions making, the informed decision making from the insights after analyzing your data. You are doing it as a team. What are the benefits of doing that? Of course, this one will lead to enhanced problem solving because you've combined your expertise. Yeah. And nobody knows everything in this world. But anytime that person A brings idea 1, person B brings idea 2, person 3, person C brings idea 3, all those combined, they can, because if you have your own idea alone on itself, probably you might not be able to achieve much. But when you combine all those A, B, C, what you'll be able to achieve, probably you won't even imagine yourselves and believe. And this one will lead to more comprehensive and innovative solutions. Have you ever found yourself in a group discussion? Probably you had, a very difficult question. You couldn't even, you've tried thinking and even researching, but you couldn't figure out. But when you are in that group, someone mentions something very randomly, and then that random idea opens a whole world of very beautiful and amazing and innovative ideas in your mind. Yeah. So it's kind of that random idea did unlock what you were not able to think when you are alone. This will increase efficiency. Effective teamwork streamlines workflows and ensures tasks are allocated to those with the relevant skills, maximizing productivity. For instance, when you are working on your assignments, if someone has good skills in what? Let's say probably data cleaning. Another one is good in machine learning models, now building those. So please maximize on, the skills of every team member for you to also maximize on your productivity. Don't just sit there and decide that you are going to do assignment from question 1 all the way to the end. Please do together. You can divide the questions amongst yourselves depending on who is strong on what, but at least everyone is involved. Then once you tackle all the questions, come together, have a session, discuss. Please explain to your friends how you did it. If someone doesn't understand, please be patient enough to even repeat. Yeah. This one will also foster creativity. Open collaboration promotes idea sharing, brainstorming as a team, encouraging creativity and overall approaches to data analytics, and improved, of course, ultimately. You will improve on decision making because your diverse viewpoints, all of them brought together, well-rounded decision making. And another benefit of even reducing the risk of bias and overlooking some critical factors. Right. What are the characteristics of successful collaborative teams? What are the characteristics? Open communication, respect for diverse perspectives. Let's respect everyone's idea, whether we think it's not better than ours, but please respect and appreciate it. Strong interpersonal skills, collaborating and interacting with your teammates will improve your interpersonal skills. Empathy and active listening. Yeah, please, anytime someone is sharing the idea, his or her ideas to contribute in your assignment, don't start jumping into conclusions and this team member hasn't even finished what they were saying. Because sometimes when we do early judgment, when someone is already talking, many are the times that once this person finishes already, you will not have a fair judgment on what they are saying. Just be patient enough. Be present anytime you are engaged in any conversation. Be truly present. Don't divide yourself. If probably you think that what's really distracts you most is your phone, please keep it a bit far so that you can be truly present in all the conversations that you have. Put yourself in the shoes of the other person. And if you put yourself in their own shoes, just imagine you are that person who is talking. And you don't even know probably what they are going through on the other side, which, they can't always share with everyone. Yeah. All right. Building effective analytical teams. How are we going to build now these teams? We know that some of the benefits of collaborative teamwork, we are going to have enhanced decision making, very good communication and interpersonal skills. Yeah. So what are some of the ways on how to build effective analytical teams? Number one, identify team member strengths and skills. And actually, this is the way you guys were grouped. Probably you could have thought that it was random, random kind of distribution, but it was so strategic. By the time we did those groups, we already knew who have good background in data science and who doesn't have. Your application didn't matter a lot because anytime you are sending an application, you can have very, you can campaign yourself in very good words. But when it comes to doing the thing, it might be different. I hope I'm audible still, right?
Yes.
Okay. And my screen is clear.
Yes.
All right. So as I was saying, the way we did the groupings, it was not a random thing. We had already identified after, I think it was after 1 month, we had already identified who are these guys who have some good background in data science and probably who had 0 to something little. And then we combined those who have good skills and those who are starting to learn, so that those who have some good skills can uplift this. And within the 10 groups, all of you are combined with, some guys who have very good skills and others again who are, starting from level 1. Please, I'm sure even up to now, probably when you are discussing, you've already kind of realized probably someone is not that good, someone, they're just starting. Please, let's be there to help them. Yeah. Be there to explain so that they understand. And if you have, of course, any questions that you might need more clarification on, your mentors are always available. Encouraging diversity and inclusion. All of you in those groups are not from the same country. All of you are spread. And that's why sometimes it's not that easy to find a time slot that works for everyone when you are working on the assignments. But please, let's be accommodative, yeah, because especially the guys who are from East Africa, I think their time zone is a bit ahead. So let's be accommodative so that we don't have our sessions like midnight, the time of the East Africans, because they also need to sleep. Probably as early as possible. And with this, we are going to create a culture that values and respects different viewpoints and promotes equal participation. Strategies for fostering team cohesion. How are you going to coexist well in those groups? You have to establish some shared goals and a clear sense of purpose to align with the team's efforts. I think this one is already clear for everyone because all of us, so long as we're in this program, we have a shared goal. You have a clear sense of purpose. You know what you want to achieve. Encourage regular team meetings to discuss progress, challenges, and ideas. Yeah, you have regular team meetings to discuss your assignments. But apart from that, we usually have sessions within our small groups with our mentors, led by our mentors, so that they can understand, how are you faring on? Are you facing any challenges? And if there are any challenges or concerns, are they things that we can tackle? If there are things that we can tackle, of course, we look for the solutions for that. Organize team building activities to strengthen relationships and promote oneness. This one is, probably it might not apply to us right now because we are spread across so many countries. But probably within other groups that you are in, I'm sure you've also realized that these team building activities really foster good relations and promote oneness. You get to understand your colleagues more when you are probably in activities outside of work. Because most of the times when you are just busy in office, everyone is just thinking about their deliverables, your work. How am I going to deliver? And you might not have that much time for someone else to get to know you better. All right. Communication and active listening. What's the importance of clear communication in analytics projects? If I'm going too fast, please, you can mention in chat. If everything is fine, I think that's cool. Effective communication ensures that all team members understand project goals, tasks, and expectations. I hope that anytime that we do assign you some tasks to do, I'm just hoping that from your end, it's normally well understood and very clear on what is expected from you. If it's due dates, you know by when are you supposed to submit, whether it's your assignment. Clarity in conveying data insights and analysis results to stakeholders promotes informed decision making. All of you, you've understood your project goals, whether, probably in the industry, in the academia, you know exactly what you're working on. You know what are your specific tasks, what is expected of you, what are your deliverables at the end of every month. Yeah, so if it's data analytics projects that you are working on, you have to be clear on how to convey your data insights and your visualizations. Because actually in the industry, and I think that's why you had a session on Power BI, because visualizations speak, a lot. And sometimes using Python, you might not have very beautiful visualizations as, your boss in the office might expect you to present. And that's why we are exposing you to as many tools as possible. On Friday, I think this is a reminder, on Friday, you are going to have a session on Tableau. That's again on data visualization, so that you can know how to clearly convey those data insights, those visualizations. And then if someone just sees that picture, even without going through the reports, they can, instantly make informed decisions. Transparent communication minimizes misunderstandings and prevents project delays. Yes, when everything is so clear, such that everyone understands what they are expected to do, misunderstandings, of course, will be minimized. And if you understand what you are expected to do, I'm sure you will get yourself to work and you will work towards meeting your deadlines. Active listening techniques for improved collaboration. How are you supposed to listen better? When someone is talking to you, how do you be truly present? Give yourself fully to that conversation. Focus on listening attentively to others without interrupting or forming judgments prematurely. If you have anything that's disrupting you, please, keep it far away. Because if I'm talking to someone and I know that truly they are, truly present, listening to what I'm saying, I will feel valued. I will feel like, I'm talking. Yeah, you're talking to someone. But if it happens that you've spoken a lot of statements and then all of a sudden someone tells you, what were you saying? Like, in the first place, are you even interested in the conversation? Yeah. And again, anytime someone is talking, please just be patient enough to listen to all their statements, so that at the end you are able to make, if there are any kind of judgments that you will make, they will be informed by everything that they've already said. Ask clarifying questions to ensure a thorough understanding of information shared by the team members. Do you ask any follow-up questions so that someone can know really you are listening to me? And if you are having a conversation between you and another person, just the two of you, probably you and your boss, do you try to kind of reframe what he was saying so that even from your end, you can know whether exactly you understood what that person said? If there is anything that you feel you haven't understood, whether you think you are right or wrong, please never be afraid to ask. Practice empathy. I think this one can't be overemphasized. Practice empathy to connect with others' perspectives and demonstrate genuine interest. Put yourselves in their shoes. I think all of us, are going through probably hard times, good times. You never know. But your response to someone, the way we respond to someone, you might never know whether that one will be like their breaking point. So empathy and kindness, yeah. Overcoming communication barriers. How do we ensure that, when we are talking to someone, they fully understand what we are trying to put across? I'm talking to, my colleague, but sometimes it might happen like all of us are speaking using different languages, whereas you're using just one language, but you don't understand each other. So how do you overcome such barriers? Number one, it's through the language and terminology that you're using. Use common language and avoid technical jargon when communicating with non-technical stakeholders. Yeah, not everybody understands about data science. Not everybody understands about machine learning. Not everybody understands about deep learning. Not everybody understands about AI. So many technical words, but you will find yourself in a position whereby probably you've been given the data, you've analyzed, you have very nice visualizations, but now it's the time to present, maybe to your boss or the stakeholders, or just the team, but they don't have any background in data science. So the language and the terminologies that you're expected to use, they should be very common and simplified so that any non-technical person can understand. So imagine you have all those nice visualizations and everything, and then all that presentation, you want to do it in front of probably your grandmother. And if your grandmother is not learned as mine, I'm sure you will have to rethink of the words that you will use so that she can understand what you're talking about. Or even, a very, like a 5-year-old kid. They understand the language, they can talk, but can they understand what I'm trying to put across? Remote collaboration, leverage video conferencing and collaboration tools to bridge the gap in remote and distributed teams. I think this one has come in so handy. We've been using this, and please, let's keep it up. On cultural differences, be aware of cultural nuances that might impact communication styles and adapt accordingly. Yeah. So all of us are from different backgrounds. We've been brought up differently, and therefore let's be sensitive to the cultural diversity and the values. And probably something to mention, what I've so far realized, I think West Africans, when they are referring to a lady, most of the times they use the word either auntie, or I think, is it mom or what? Something like that. So I think for them, that's being respectful. But for us here, East Africans, like, I think, I don't know, it's different. Anyone from East Africa, I think, yeah. If you can't explain an idea to an 8-year-old, you don't understand it. Yes, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah. So in short, let's be sensitive to the cultural differences and on the language and terminology, as Carl is saying. If you can't explain it to an 8-year-old, then it means you don't understand it. But you want to impress your boss, you want to impress you want to do good, not really to impress, but you want to do good. You spend sleepless nights doing those analytics, and it's time now to communicate it through your presentation. Yeah. So use simple words. Okay. Common sources of conflicts in analytics projects. So differences in data interpretation. Sometimes you might find it difficult to come into a consensus on something. Yeah. If you see a graph, you say, no, it's left skewed, it's right. Yeah. I think those ones are, we expect them, but you need to know how to resolve such conflicts so that all of you as a team can come into a consensus and agree on one thing. Conflicting interpretations of data can lead to disagreements among team members. Probably everyone thinks that they are the best, in interpreting data. And that one probably might not be the case. Yeah. On resource allocation, conflicts again may arise when resources such as time or budget are unevenly distributed among project tasks, and also varying analytical approaches. We have different styles, even the coding. If we try to look at your assignment yesterday, all of you probably, to a very large extent, you have different coding styles. And so you will have varying analytical approaches. So sometimes when you work as a team, some disagreements might be there about the best methodology or tools to use for analysis, which, could lead to friction, and then you can even abandon the assignment. But please, don't think that you are the best. Whether your friend, according to you, think they don't have the best idea, but discuss, all of you, and agree on one thing. Now, if you experience such conflicts when you are working on your projects as a team, how are you going to resolve such conflicts? Number one, identify the root cause. Yeah. Where is the problem coming from? What's really causing that conflict? Dig deep to understand the underlying issues triggering the conflict. After you identify that, please facilitate open and honest dialogue. Allow everyone to express their concerns and viewpoints, whether you think they are right or wrong. Please give them time. And let's not jump into early judgments. Yeah. Just listen with no bias until they are done. And then as a team, please always seek to have a win-win situation. A win-win situation so that someone is not demoralized. You all feel empowered. You all feel, at the same level. Whether you are an expert or the other person is a beginner, but please look for a win-win solution. Collaboratively work towards solutions that benefit all parties involved. Yeah. Don't just force people to agree with what you think is right. And if need be, probably, if need be, involve a mediator. And especially in complex conflicts, whereby you have someone who's so neutral, and then they will try to, solve your conflicts. But I strongly believe that we can manage to a high degree our conflicts, so long as we actively listen and we are empathetic. Now, if such a kind of conflict happen, you are in a team, probably you are working somewhere, and it's not like you are going to tell your boss to fire someone so that you feel, you're fine and you don't have anyone disturbing you. You have to learn to coexist with others. And therefore, probably in the office, you have such conflicts. You have to know how to turn them into opportunities for growth. Let's always be optimistic. Yeah, something has happened. Think of the positive side of it. Think of the positive side of it. Empathize the learning. View conflicts as learning opportunities for the team to understand each other better. We've been brought up differently, and so is our character. And therefore, anytime we encounter some conflicts, let's always have a positive mindset that no matter our differences, we can turn all these differences into opportunities for growth. Probably it's an opportunity for me to understand you better. What do you like and what don't you like? So that if it's something that you don't like, probably next time I won't try to cross your path. Build stronger relationships. Resolve those conflicts. Resolving those conflicts can strengthen trust and foster better relationships among team members. You've, understood the other person better, and therefore it will be so easy to form a better relationship with them after that. Analyze those conflict resolution outcomes so that you can improve on team processes and prevent future conflicts. Right? Okay. I hope so far no question. Then after that, we go to project management in analytics. Whether you have a certification in project management, the project management professional certificate or not, you'll be expected to work on projects. All right, thank you, Samsford. So you will be expected to work in projects. And therefore, let's first understand what's really project management. So in definition, project management involves planning, organizing, and controlling resources to achieve some specific project goals. You have the end goal. You will have controlling resources. You have limited resources, and time is a constraint. Yeah. And effective project management will ensure that data projects are delivered on time, within scope, and with desired quality. You will have timelines to meet. You will have a scope to cover. Probably if you have an assignment, the scope is just the simple questions that you are asked. Because when you have those assignment questions, you are expected to respond your responses are expected to be within the scope of that question. So when it comes to project management, we have some very critical elements. So number one, as I've mentioned, is on the scope. You have to define your scope. What is your project requiring you to do? To what extent? And then after that, on the task scheduling, resource allocation, always resource is always, you know, constraint and time, risk assessment and progress, and progress on what's, progress something. Yeah, but it's progress on your task. Yeah. So you have your project, probably it's a 6-month project. You don't expect yourself just to, you know, sit there and then at the end of month 6, that's when you will think of, you know, now I have to submit. Yeah. You have a 6-month project, whether someone is helping you to define what is expected of you or not, probably it's 6 months, but probably at the end of the 6 months, that's when you are expected to send a report. But from your end, you need to manage yourself. Divide, you have the end goal, which is 1, yeah, probably a report is expected in 6 months' time. And therefore, you need to divide your work into small tasks. Probably at the end of month 1, what should I have achieved? This one will accumulate to month 2, what will I have achieved all the way? And then within the 1 month, in a week, what can I achieve in a week? So that cumulatively, week 1, week 2 to week 4, which make a month, now I will have achieved my month 1 goal. Month 1 to month 6, cumulatively, I will have achieved my end goal, which is expected to be delivered in 6 months. Yeah. Okay. Probably these ones could be new terminologies for you. You don't have to cram, it's fine. But when it comes to project management, we normally have 2 methodologies. We have Agile and we have Waterfall. For Agile, in you know, the kind of the modern world that we are in, every kind of project is required to be worked on in an agile manner. Why agile? Agile is being iterative. It's iterating. For example, you have your project, which is supposed to be delivered in 6 months. Yeah. For agile, at the end of probably week 1 or at maximum month 1, you will have something you can present to your line manager or to the project owner. If you present, they will have their feedback, and then your feedback will inform now what you already have for month 2 plus the feedback. Month 2 again, probably you do another presentation, you get feedback plus what you had already planned. That one together will inform your month 3. So it will keep on iterating. Your line manager might think of probably new ideas to incorporate again in the same, in the same project to make it better. Yeah. And therefore for Agile, this one is iterative. It keeps on iterating until, you have your end goal and everyone is satisfied. It's iterative and flexible. And this one is normally ideal for complex and rapidly evolving projects. it emphasizes on customer collaboration and frequent feedback. Yeah, as I've mentioned, after month 1, you kind of do a presentation or send something, then they will look at it, share their feedback, and then you proceed again month 2 like that. On waterfall, this is like linear. You just start. You expect it at the end of month 6. You start, you continue with your work up to month 6, and after it's done, month 6 is done, you just send your report. And this one is normally suitable for well-defined projects with stable requirements. When everything is very clear, nothing is uncertain, because it will strictly follow a step-by-step process. When you talk of the two, waterfall and agile, we have some variables which are fixed, others are variables. So on waterfall, what is fixed or what is varying over time is the time and the cost. The features are the same. All those requirements, they just remain the same. On agile, the variables will keep on iterating, improving on the feedback. But at the end, the quality of the work will be a guarantee. On the waterfall, you never know. It might be good or not. Okay, up to there, any question?
Can you come again with the agile and waterfall?
Okay. So we have these two methodologies, agile and waterfall, and nowadays, many of the projects that you will find yourself working in, especially in the business sector, you'll be required to work in an agile manner. Yeah. So it will keep on iterating, and it's very flexible because, for example, an example I was giving is, assume you have a project to deliver in 6 months. So you divide your task to subtask, maybe by month. So after month 1, at least you've done something. Please communicate to probably the customer or whoever you are working for. Share something. They can look at it. And then if they have any feedback, they can share with you to incorporate in what you're working on. So you will keep on iterating. It's not linear, because sometimes they will provide some feedback which probably will expect you to, go beyond what you think you are expected. Probably not by much. They might require you to add something, probably new. So it will be very flexible. Waterfall is not. You have a 6 months project. You have the 6 months project. You just work on it. Then you submit. It's very linear. It will follow step by step. So probably they've told you, do this, do this, that's what you will do exactly. It's very well defined with very stable requirements. And if right now, for example, you are working on, let's say, a project which is involved in the tech space, probably it's a 5-year project in the tech space. Of course, it must be agile because technology is evolving so fast. What we knew about today, tomorrow might be something different. If it's these Google Slides might be so, improved. We have new features and all that. And if we have new features, then we'll keep on adding so that we can make the quality of the work excellent. On the waterfall, because you already have step 1 all the way to the end, you don't have much flexibility, and therefore the quality again is not that much guaranteed. But probably this works well for projects which are so clear, you know, the probability of this thing changing is not that easy. I hope it's clear now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, Mwanza.
Yeah. My
And
question.
just on the same,
Mm.
in terms of the cost and the time, so does it mean that for the agile, the
Yeah.
cost and the time can change, whereas the other one is fixed? Or is the other way around?
So for the variables, which can change here is the features. You have a 5-year project, for example, probably in the tech space. If it's 5 years, time is a constraint. You have the cost, you already have the budget for that. And then these features will depend on the feedback that you receive so that you can incorporate it, and keep improving on it. On the other side, what can vary is the time and cost. And then features will remain the same. So on the time and cost, this one will depend with your, let's say with your customer or with your boss, whoever you are working for. But at the end, because the features are not, they are not changing, there is no frequent feedback. And therefore the quality at the end might be not that much guaranteed.
Okay.
And most of the times on agile, this one is ideal for complex and rapidly evolving projects. So you will find yourself, for example, you are there in the industry, you have a project spanning for 5 years. So before you commence this project, you already have, the scope of work, the budget, the timelines. If it's 5 years, it must be delivered by 5 years. But again, you might be having reporting every quarter. And then if it's your funder, you report to them, then they will review, the work being done. Then they send their feedback, and then from there you can know how to improve and proceed forward. Yes. Yes, agile is better than waterfall.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So we go to time and resource
Marit,
management. Yes.
Just one.
Yes.
Is agile anywhere close to prototyping?
Sorry?
How was agile different from prototyping in terms of?
Yeah, we could say somehow they are closely related, because you will prototype and then after that, you have to do something after that. Yeah. But the key thing on the agile, actually one of the main characteristic is on the frequent feedback. Because you will prototype and then after that, what's next? Probably you will implement something. Yeah. And then now what you will be implementing, this is what now will involve the agile methodology. All right. So time and resource management, how do you manage your time? Last time we shared, was it last week? No, you guys were supposed to submit on Wednesday this week. Yes, we had one group which submitted late. So that one means, number one, they are not good in collaborative teamwork, and I hope they are listening and learning, and time management. Do keep on pushing things, I'll work on it tomorrow. I push it forward. You put it for later. Yeah, you want to delay it tomorrow. I don't want to work now. Probably we can meet tomorrow for our discussion. And then tomorrow keeps on, getting its tomorrow again until the due date. And then you haven't done anything. And that's why when it comes to project management, you will have time as a constraint. You will have a due date to submit your project, your report, a due date. And therefore you have to plan yourself. If your work is expected in a month's time, please divide it into subtasks. If it's in a month, then it means probably after every day, there is something that you need to achieve. At the end of the week, have something that you can even, send to someone and then they can review. So what's the importance of efficient time and resource allocation? Why do we have to be, be so efficient in our time management? Because time is a constraint and resource is a constraint. And therefore, the way we plan for this, it must be in the optimal way. You will face time constraints. Your projects will often have strict deadlines. And therefore, making effective time management is very critical for your success, whether in this project or outside. Or even at home, we have family projects. You can't just leave it so wide open when you don't know by when should I have achieved what. Please always remember to divide your work into subtasks. Give yourself some timelines before the grand timeline. Efficiently allocate resources to ensure tasks are completed without unnecessary delays or bottlenecks. Be proactive on time and resource planning for you to be able to identify potential risks and challenges early on. Probably you have an assignment you're expected to submit next week. Then you wait until the last minute. When you go through the assignment, you realize there were so many errors. When will you find time to reach to your mentor to address those errors? And then after the errors are addressed, when will you find time to work on the assignment? So when you plan yourself and work early, you'll be able to identify whether it's errors or any risks. Sometimes when you wait for that last day, you might have power blackouts. Everything is totally off and you didn't even start your assignment or even your project in the office. And everything, including your phone, totally off. You can't do anything. What will you tell your boss? Will you tell them your laptop is hanging? Will you tell them it's raining cats and dogs and therefore internet is not stable? Yeah, please plan yourselves well. What are the techniques for you to manage project timelines effectively? Define milestones. Yeah, break your project into manageable milestones with clear deliverables and timelines. If you think this is a huge project, please divide it into subtasks. With that, it will be even easier from your side to tackle those small tasks. But I tell you, after day one, you tackle small task for day two. By the time you're done with week one, you will have done tremendous work. Yeah, prioritize tasks. you will have a lot of things to work on. You have an assignment, probably at home you have a project, you have another project in school, you have another project at work, but all of them need you to work on. And therefore, prioritization will play a very critical role. Yeah, I have 4 projects. One of those projects probably is expected in 5 months' time. Another one is expected in 3 months' time. Another one is expected in 1 week's time. What will you start with? The one that is expected in 1 week's time. But again, even the one that is expected in 5 months' time, divide it into small milestones, small tasks, break it so that every day, at least, and if not every day, but at least after a couple of a few days, you are able to think of it and do something. Don't wait for the last minute. Identify high priority tasks and allocate resources accordingly to focus on critical aspects. Regular monitoring, track progress regularly to ensure the project stays on schedule and address any deviations promptly. All right, so what we are going to do now, I'll give you 5 minutes break, but in that break, during that break time, please think of, what is your biggest challenge when it comes to collaborative teamwork? What do you find it as a big challenge when you are collaborating with the team? Just think of that during actually it's now 4 minutes. And then when we come back, we are going to share it on Slido. Yeah? All right. So enjoy your short break. on the next question on Slido, I hope you're already there. What's the biggest challenge when it comes to collaborative teamwork? What's the best challenge that you've already faced so far? Please share with us. Again, www.slido.com is, if you had already logged in, I'm sure you were supposed to be there already. Yeah, timing, poor communication. Yes, I think I do agree with that, because sometimes someone posts in those small groups, guys, when can we meet for a discussion? Then nobody responds. And then you can imagine all of you are responsible to deliver on that assignment. And then you are just there talking to yourself. I think it's not fair. Yeah. If the proposed time doesn't work for you, please, you have the freedom to also propose anytime. Timekeeping, timing, no feedback from team members, improper communication. You see, so poor communication and time management. Guys, I hope you are learning, and I hope you are going to put all these skills into practice. Freelancer mentality of some other members. Time management, backbiting, no feedback, improper communication from team members. Please, guys. Yeah. Anytime we have an assignment, it's for all of us in that group, and everybody is expected to support, collaborate. Guys, I've proposed some time slots. Please, if it doesn't work for you, mention it doesn't work for me. Propose, or you guys can have like a poll. You suggest probably like 3 or even, let's say, 2 different time slots. And then our guys can vote. The one that has the majority, of course, it wins. And please, if yours didn't win, find time. Let's be accommodative. Yeah. Yes. Excuses to avoid task every now and then. I don't know, my laptop is freezing. I don't know, I have headache, which I'm not sure whether someone is sick or not. Yeah. Please, let's work as a team.
At your office or workplace, and then you have a project leader, and you have to work within a certain timeline, and from the feedback given to the project leader, he seemed not to be taking it into consideration, and your deadline to is approaching, and maybe you try to push through, and the project leader becomes angry and says, okay, if you see what I'm doing is not right, then I'm leaving everything for you, do it. Meanwhile, you know yourself that you cannot also do it. How do you handle such situation?
All right, so sometimes actually collaborating can be not a so easy experience. Yeah. But now, for example, if you're dealing with your boss or someone who is superior to you, number one, the best thing is to understand them. Yeah. What's their language? If I keep on pushing, will they be angry at me, or will it, will things proceed as normal? So understand your leader. Once you understand him, number one, it will be kind of easy to know the better way to approach them. If it's on due dates approaching, you have different stakeholders who are supposed to collaborate and bring input to your project, and then they're not responding. Sometimes you don't have much that you can do. The only thing that you can do, probably you send polite reminder emails. If it's someone you are with in the office, if you kind of understood this person, you can know whether you will give them a phone call, you'll send an email, yeah, Or will it be if you use Zoom or whatever? What kind of another official communication channel can you use to reach out to them? Or is it in person? You just bump into that person and then you kind of remind him, hey, you know what? I did this, I submitted, you know, please, I'm expecting for your reviews, for your feedback. Yeah, sometimes when you are collaborating, especially in the workplace, things might be out of your control. But one thing, especially if you're dealing with your boss, please understand what kind of a person he is. Because sometimes you might keep on pushing and reminding so many times, and then he's mad at you. Another boss, you keep on reminding them, and then, you know, they are so fine with it. They even appreciate it because they might be so busy on the other end. And if you keep on reminding them, it will be easy to work on what you're expected to do. But I mean, always do your part and then let them be the ones who are making things get late, but not you. I hope that helps.
Or maybe he can look for a mediator, someone that the leader is.
Yeah, if things get out of hand, yeah, you can get a mediator. Or for instance, if your boss has an assistant, like the personal assistant, sometimes it'd be better to pass through the personal assistant than going through the boss directly. Yeah, and in such a case, that will be like the mediator.
But again, you have to be careful because you may
Yeah.
end up like, I don't know, selling your boss, like there are certain things which may be confidential and then you're trying to spit out to everyone. At the end of the day, it may work to your disadvantage.
Yeah, that's true. So please understand the kind of a boss you are dealing with. Once you understand them, I think to some level, yeah, creating an image, so to some level, it might be easy on how you approach and deal with them when it comes to delivering on your projects. Once you understand them, sometimes some guys are lucky to have very easy bosses. Yeah, you can even just bump into its office or her office and you remind them. And then another one. Yes, please.
Sometimes, if you can do the work, you go ahead and do. If you can do the work without the need of your boss, you go ahead and do. And then you send the work to him and said, oh, I've tried to do something. Can they check if it's okay? And then if the thing is concerning your future, I'm not sure you should be so kind with your boss. For instance, if you are dealing with a supervisor, and then you have time limit, and the supervisor is not ready to read your work. I mean, you have to be honest to yourself. You just tell him, maybe I think that you are too busy or the workload on you is too much. So can I suggest, please suggest that if I can look for someone else. Because if you have a time limit to submit something, or you are doing your undergraduate project work, and the lecturer is not upcoming, you can easily change the person to be able to go through. But you do it in a nice way that the person may not be hurt. So sometimes you have to go the hard way. Sometimes too, you have to understand them. When you look at the work load on them, you should understand. Some are naturally lazy and some naturally want to delay you. So once the person is sabotaging your future, you just decide to tell the person you should step.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Joyce. So I think with that we can proceed. We have like 17 minutes left to go. Then on decision making and problem solving, probably some of this will be like a repetition of what we've been talking about since the beginning of this session. So some of the approaches to data-driven decision making, you've analyzed your data, please utilize your data insights. You have those very nice visualizations. Base your decisions on what your visuals tell you, not your assumptions. Report what is in your analytics. Data visualization, use this to present complex data in a clear and understandable manner. Yeah. Scenario analysis, evaluate different scenarios to anticipate potential outcomes and risks. Right, so I think we can go next. Problem solving frameworks for analytics projects. Yeah, so what are the kind of probably some high level steps that you will follow or should always, have it in your mind when you are dealing with analytics projects? Every project will be tackling a problem. Every project. In every project, you are tackling a problem, whether it's a new or an old problem, but it's a problem. And therefore, you have to define it very clearly. Articulate that problem or the challenge that you are aiming to address. Once you define your problem and your scope of work, get now into the analytics. Yeah, probably you already have the data. If you don't have the data because you've defined your problem, and therefore it will be after defining your problem, if you don't have the data and you have to collect it, the way you framed your problem will help you in framing the kind of variables that you will need to collect when you're collecting your data. Because the data that you will have probably after collection, or you already have it, you will analyze for you to gain insights into the problem that you've already defined. After analyzing, those visualizations and the decision making will inform the solutions that you are going to generate. You'll brainstorm and evaluate potential solutions based on the data findings. So you have the visualizations. What are the recommendations? Visualizations, you've done informed data decision making. Everything is very, clearly outlined. Maybe there are some very critical underlying issues. So what recommendations can you give? Implement and monitor, execute this chosen solution and monitor its effectiveness. So if there are some recommended solutions, how will they be executed? And then after that, during the execution, how are you going to monitor to ensure that the implementation is effective? Yeah. Right. Analyzing and assessing project risks. All the projects, actually, anytime that you are defining any project, yeah, probably you have like a 5-year project, you have your budget, you have the timeline is already set, you have the scope very well defined. In all that document somewhere, you will have to identify some potential risks that you think you might encounter while implementing that project. And then after identifying those potential risks, for example, if you are implementing a project on just offering some digital skills training, probably the program involves high school students, you don't know because the mode of delivery is, let's say, virtual, they're at home. You don't know when they are off camera what they are doing on their browsers. And probably they've gone into some website and then they start keying in their personal details, or even talking to someone on Facebook and they don't know. This is a high school student. They're talking to someone they don't know. The person has started asking some questions. So if it's such kind of a project, you can foresee some risks. Probably this child might be, too exposed, or, cyberbullying and all that, everything, all the risks that come with these digital platforms. So after you identify those risks, what are the mitigation strategies do you put in place? Do you have some sessions to educate them that when they are online, they need to do this and this? Then they don't have to share personal details with everyone. Yeah, just someone calls on their phone and then they don't know the person. And then all of a sudden they're being asked about their PIN, their password for to access some application in their phone. And then they just go straight away and they give the person on the other hand, they share. So if you identify such potential risks, what mitigation strategies do you have in place? Yeah, and an example is having some sessions to educate them on what they could probably come across and how to not to get themselves involved. So identify those risks. And then once you identify, do a risk assessment, evaluate the likelihood of that risk happening. Is the likelihood high? Is it medium? Is it low? If it's high, then you must have very clear mitigation strategies, very clear ones. Evaluate the likelihood and the potential impact of each of those risks you've identified. Then there is a risk prioritization on how highly are they being their likelihood. How is it ranking? Is it high? Is it medium? Is it low? Yeah. So some of the mitigation strategies for managing risks. Number one, on risk mitigation, develop action plans to reduce the probability and the impact of those identified risks. When you are identifying those risks, they haven't happened yet. It's only that you are thinking through your project and what possibly could happen or what possibly could go wrong. Yeah. Then once you identify, have clear mitigation strategies, develop action plans depending on the likelihood of each risk. Contingency planning, prepare alternative approaches in case you've identified some risks, or in case any of those risks that you identified materialize. If you had identified a risk, then it reaches a point where that risk happens now in real life. Then within those mitigation strategies, you will have some alternative approaches. Yeah, probably you've been offering online classes. You could think of probably in the next cohort, if you have enough funds, then you could have a lab, a computer lab. And if some students are from within, a certain neighborhood, they could go there, they are being monitored. Or if they're high school students, you could involve their parents or someone to be, somehow always there to monitor them. You need to monitor and control, continuously monitor these risks that you've identified that potentially they could happen, and adjust those mitigation strategies as needed. All right, so in the chat, please share with us on how you prioritize or on how you will be prioritizing on tasks, and especially the assignments that we give you. Share in the chat on how going forward you'll be prioritizing on tasks. In how many minutes? In 1 minute. Please share in chat. Going forward, how will you be prioritizing the tasks? You have our assignment, you have other duties you must attend to, but how will you be prioritizing your tasks so that you don't miss on any deadline. Probably 1 word or 2 words, not long statements. How will you prioritize on tasks? Please share on chat. Yes, you look on the urgent and very important tasks. You deal on those. Yes. Nice, nice, nice. You break into subtasks. Yes. Use calendars and reminders. Exactly. Yeah. The easy first. Yes. Deadline scheduling to avoid forgetting. Yes. Have them in your calendar. List tasks. Yes. List everything that you're doing. And then after you list, you can subtask. Have deadlines, setting timetable based on the deadline. Yes. Time for planning. Yes, you have to plan. Yeah, you don't just have to wake up and you decide it's a project and then all of a sudden you start working on it. So keep sharing, keep sharing, keep sharing. On leadership and empowerment, what are the role of leaders in analytics projects?
I don't see the new question on Slido. Yeah, mine is still showing the old one.
Okay, you want to show on Slido, no problem.
Is it? No, sorry. I think, is it on the chat?
Yes, I had instructed that you share on chat. All right. So some of the roles of leaders in these analytics projects, number 1, on vision and direction. Leaders provide a clear vision and direction for the project, guiding the team towards its goal. Yeah. Team empowerment, empowering the team members, which really fosters a sense of ownership and commitment to the project's success. When you are at work, are you just expected to work and probably no trainings offered and anything to empower you as a team member in that project? Leaders make informed decisions based on data insights and seek input from the team. I think, you know, we've spoken on this and we'll keep on speaking about it with this because this is the core business. That's to why we are here. Analyze data, get data insights, then make informed decisions. All right. Empowering team members to excel. How will you empower your team members if it's the boss? Delegation, delegate tasks. Sometimes you might feel it's when I do work on my own, I do it to the best standard that I need. But if you never delegate that task to someone, you will never know how much capable they can, you know, achieve. Give them, assign that task to someone, your junior. If they make a mistake, it's fine. Room for mistake is always there. And as a leader, expect them to make mistakes, but be ready to correct and show them the direction. And give clear instructions. What do I expect to be done should be very clearly communicated. So effective leaders delegate tasks based on team members' strength and expertise. Yes, based on what you are good at, that's the kind of task that I should allocate to. Same as another person and another person. So everyone feels involved and everyone contributes depending on their strength and capabilities. Encourage continuous learning and skill development to enhance team capabilities. Once you've done undergrad, probably you have an MSc, now you get a job, and then you forget about learning. Learning never stops. Please, even if you don't have anyone to encourage you to keep learning, continuous learning, please encourage yourself, learn new things. I'm imagining someone born in the 80s or 70s. If they don't, you know, look for opportunities to learn, you will find that majority of them are missing a lot because things have really evolved. And the same way we expect things to evolve in the next 10 years, 20 years, or, very few years to come. A lot of technological advancements. How much do you seek to develop yourself? Recognize achievements and provide support to boost team morale. If someone has done good, appreciate. Tell them well done. They've worked on that assignment, they finished. Whether they get a 0 or not, at least they've done something. Understanding emotional intelligence in the analytics context, and on definition, what's emotional intelligence? This is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage emotions in yourself and others. Managing your own emotions. You can underline that. You manage your own emotions and the emotions of others. As a leader, you are required to lead with emotional intelligence. You have to manage your own emotions. Maybe someone wronged you at home, and then you come in the office, you are just mad at everyone. Until everyone feels, wow, today is not a good day. Yeah. Because you can't manage your own emotions. And as a leader, you're expected to manage not only your own, but those of others. And everyone in their own capacity is a leader, whether you are a boss or not, but in your own capacity, you are a leader. So learn to manage your own emotions and those around you. Emotional intelligence enhances communication, empathy, and collaboration among team members. It will put you in a place whereby you can understand what others are feeling. Analyzing one's emotions and reactions will foster personal growth and resilience. Always have some time to self-reflect. Enhancing emotional intelligence for better teamwork. One is on empathy. Put yourself in the shoes of others. Understand and empathize with the feelings and perspective of team members and stakeholders. Conflict resolution, we've spoken about this. Please use your emotional intelligence. Manage your own emotions and those of others, and this will help you to navigate conflicts constructively and find a win-win situation. On stress management, if you are able to manage your own emotions, it will be easy for you to manage stress. So practical emotional regulation. Practice emotional regulation to manage stress and maintain productivity. Okay. So in conclusion, just a recap of what we've spoken about today. Please, let's have, soft skills which are meant to empathize. Empathize with people, your friends, your co-workers, everyone. And this will include soft skills such as communication, conflict resolution, empathy, which are so crucial to get success, to realize success in the projects that you're working on. Effective collaboration, please, a reminder and a reminder, and I'll keep on reminding you about this because not here in this program that you will work as teams, but even outside, whether in the office, at home, you will find yourselves working in teams. So please leverage on everyone's diverse strengths so that you as a team can drive innovation and decision making. Make good use of the little project management skills that you've learned today to ensure timely delivery and resource optimization in all the assignments or projects that you work on. Time management, meeting deadlines. It's very important. Again, Technical expertise alone will not be enough. You will have the technical skills, which are very paramount. You will have them because they will help you to get your job done. But without the soft skills, it will be so easy for you to be in constant conflicts with your coworkers. And to avoid those conflicts, you will need the soft skills. Know how to communicate, know how to actively listen, empathy, empathize with your coworkers, with your teammates, with your other fellow mentees. Yeah. And with this, it will elevate your project outcomes and even the team dynamics. You'll get to learn more about your teammates. Embrace continuous learning, ongoing development of both technical and soft skills to stay competitive in these analytics fields. And please, for successful analytics projects, you will need an harmonious blend of technical prowess and effective soft skills. Yeah. So what soft skills do you think are more crucial for analytics professionals to develop? Should we share on chat kindly in 1 minute so that we can be done in 10 minutes past the hour? Please share on chat. What soft skills do you think are the most crucial for the analytics professionals to develop? You as an upcoming or already an established data analytics professionals, what are the most crucial soft skills do you think that you need to develop? Not the ones that you have, but the ones that you need to develop starting today. Emotional intelligence, yes. Yeah, nice. Project management, communication, teamwork, awesome, awesome. Continue sharing. Yeah, communication, collaboration, emotional intelligence, yes. Let's be empathetic. Yeah. And continue sharing. And with that, thank you so much for listening. I've been your instructor for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Damaris.
You're welcome. All right. Diverse
staff,
view before embarking on the best approach. Yes, thank you.
hi Damaris. I think
Yes.
the stuff that we others have been doing is all out of order.
Why?
We don't have soft skills at all.
Yeah, but we all learn. We learn every day. So I hope today you've learned something and please put it into practice. So yeah, beginning today, be a different person. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, we will. And I just realized somebody suggested that this lesson should have come earlier. I think it really should have.
Yeah.
Because we've really learned a lot today.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome. All right, so guys, we can see each other on Saturday.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Good night. Good evening. Please take care.
Thank you.